A good morning to all of those who tuned into the Guyanese Critic. This is a special edition of my morning live, and it directly relates to the fire at Mahdia, the school dormitory, female school dormitory at Mahdia, that has seen the loss of 19 lives. 19 lives. A very sad situation. One of the things I'm going to be discussing this morning is its context, the information that I received. As many of you might have seen, I was at the Eugene Correa International Airport in the wee hours of this morning, bringing you live updates as President Ali was making preparation to have multiple Medivac responses to our outlining Region 8 community, township, as a matter of fact, of Mahdia. I can tell you today the world is with us. I have received calls from news agencies from across the world. ABC News, a lot of European news agencies, because this is one situation. Unique doesn't express the pain and suffering we feel as a nation presently. But it is my job to bring to you the facts of the matter, and for us to use those facts to look within, to have a better understanding of exactly what transpired here, and to ensure that a nation should never have to feel such pain and anguish again. This morning at around 12:15, I received reports. Let me give you the exact time. I received reports of a fire at Mahdia. And the time would be exactly 12:20. 12:20 this morning. The voice on the other end of the phone said, hurriedly, there's a fire at the Mahdia School Dorms, plenty children dead. I asked who it was, because I was hoping, not like the other times. Many times I receive calls in the early wee hours of the morning that are pranks. But this call, I was hoping it was a prank. Because who wants to hear that? I have 3 sons. Being a father for 24 years now has bestowed me with the kind of emotions that do not afford me to take or extract myself from matters like this. As much as in many cases, when reporting stories, I am able to contain myself, this is one that hits home to myself and many Guyanese. We will discuss in its entirety one person is asking on the live to confirm that it was a phone that has caused the fire. It is not a phone that caused the fire. Reports are, and I'll get into the details of that in a moment, one of the students' phone was taken away. And she might have used a lighter and a bottle of perfume to start a fire. One of the 13-year-old students. Those are the initial reports. So let us go into, this shows where Guyana is heading. Now, in most cases, in our country, in many cases, it is seen, it's clear as day, when things are done by troubled children, we try to see how it is not about that child. In this case, justice needs to be quick and fast. It needs to be served, if only to bring some bit of peace to the family members. There needs to be an explanation as to why and how this transpired. So again, we will go through this series of events. This morning, at about 12:20 a.m., I received a call of a fire at the Mahdia School Dormitory. I was told that there were multiple students who lost their lives. At that time, I did not know that it would have been, that number would have risen to 19. Most of our classes across Guyana house 30 students. It is such that it is 2/3 of a class, almost a whole class, has lost their lives. Now we will go through in detail, how does a school dormitory work? What is the purpose of a school dormitory? Why would that area have a school dormitory? Because it's not something that you would experience if you're from the coastline, if you're from Georgetown. But there are a number of schools that house students. For instance, President's College, that is on the east coast of Demerara, and in some cases we're further than parents would like their children to commute on a daily basis. After receiving reports, I went to the Eugene Correa International Airport, but let me first show you. This is the scene after the fire, as debris and in some cases bodies were being removed. Let me start in a sequence that will take us through the fire. A number of videos surfaced of the fire. This is a not a clear video. Just a photo. Trying to get some clear video footage for you. Just a photo. So this was the scene. As you're seeing this, children are trapped here. At this time, children are trapped. This is this fire from the video footage you're seeing here in the condition of the dorms. This fire would have started within half an hour of what you're seeing here. While the firefighters try to quench the flames, the bodies of students were lying amongst the debris. So just to put it into context, I want to show you what the dorm would be like, and we will have a discussion from there. So this would be the dorm. If you look at this area here, what you're seeing there is grills. So for clarity, the dormitory is a facility that comes under the Ministry of Communities. It's a government facility, comes under the Ministry of Communities, and they're tasked with housing students. So Mahdia is one of the townships in Guyana, and it is in an outlying area. It is in Region 8 that is not easily accessible by road. So it is accessible by road, but I was told last night when I was making preparations to head into Mahdia by road, that I would reach there by 11 o'clock today. Imagine driving from Georgetown, and that would have taken some 8 hours to reach to Mahdia. So this is the school dorm. It's a one-story building carrying sash-style windows, but if you look closely, you will see there was some bit of grill work. This, what you're seeing there, is grill work. Now, there where police have to bring a swift or conduct a swift investigation to decide who is responsible for this. Firstly, I must say it's unfortunate if it is true that a young lady, one of the students who had her phone taken away, was responsible for igniting a fire that has led to the death of 19 of our fellow mates. It is very unfortunate. And that is the reports that I am receiving. That as a result of her phone being taken away, she lit a fire. I'm hoping police investigation and fire department investigations would come back suggesting something otherwise than that. Because then we would have to look at the grave circumstances surrounding our youths and their psyche. It is worrying. Sad situation. Now, how many students are housed in this dorm is yet to be ascertained. I'm hoping to have that information. Most likely I'll be bringing an update for you later down in the day. I'm hoping to get a flight to Mahdia to be able to be on the ground and talk to the residents of Mahdia, to talk to the parents of these children. Sad to say, a lot of the parents of these children do not know that their children have perished. They might be living in outlying communities in Region 8 and surrounding Mahdia, and working today and thinking that they're working in the best interests of their daughters, only to receive sad news that their children will not be coming home. So looking at this is a dormitory. It's a one-story building. Reports that I have received suggest that upon receiving the report 12:20 this morning, this is what was transpiring at that time. There was an inferno that has led to the death of 19 students at the Mahdia School Dorms. I will tell you what happened immediately after. I will show you. I was informed that preparations are being made and this was the scene at the Ogle International Airport. Ambulances were on the ground. Medivacs were making preparations to move off. I photoed the scene. Firefighters were on the ground. This was at about 1 o'clock this morning, half an hour after I received initial reports. Persons, all medical personnel, were waiting for the medivacs to return from Mahdia with the critically injured. This is Presidential Advisor Jerry Gavaya monitoring in the monitoring office, tracking how their planes were moving. The President and Colonel Khan, the head of the Guyana Defense Force, were in discussions, and where the president sat was somewhat bit of a makeshift command center. All the time, I can tell you, when I went to that location, no ambulances were there. The president was the first person to reach there. So just to give you guys, and I recap as I move forward for you to have a better understanding of what transpired. I received a call at 5:20 of this dire situation. They fired the school dorms. At the time, I did not know how many persons died. We have now found out that count is 19, several others injured, and a few critical. Those critical persons, students, have been medevaced from Mahdia and now are receiving the best care that can be had to save their lives. The president was one of the first persons to be on the ground. As preparations were being made to, and I took out photographs to make sure we had the necessary information for you to understand what was going on immediately after. Firstly, is there was never before a medevac response of this nature. If you look at the skies were dark. You could not have seen any stars. And you look at the tarmac, you would see there were water lines and spots there. So the ability to fly at that time, I had asked the pilots if I had asked for a normal flight. I had asked the pilots of Roraima Airways if I had asked for a normal flight, if they would have done that. They said no, not under the weather circumstances. So they went against the odds, taking into consideration the dire need for help at that time in Mahdia. If you go and look at my live videos, I have videos showing when the first plane took off, when the second plane took off, and when the first plane returned. That was the first plane to come to Ogle with 4 of the students. Was a Trans-Guyana plane that happened to be at Mahdia at the time of this incident. The president, head of the Guyana Defense Force, head of the Guyana Police Force, obviously with the direction of the president, made the decisions that saw the fast movement. I was there and witnessed the whole mobilization process. Within 1 hour, 2 planes were off the ground heading to Mahdia, and a number of ambulances were waiting and prepared to move individuals as needed, where needed. As you can see, the president would have rushed to this location because he was still in slippers and PJs. So this was transpiring immediately after, or while the fire was still going on. These are female students burnt about their bodies, transported to the Mahdia Hospital, assisted by public spirited citizens. Hold on, don't put that yet. Can I blur this out? No, but it's not so. So I got a photograph here, and can I zoom out a little bit so it doesn't be so. Here, can I zoom out? I have a photograph here of one of the burn victims. With serious burns about her body. I choose not to show this photograph. The fire itself, they had photos of, let me get videos of the bodies being removed. Hey, Chief. Yeah. Uh-huh. All right. Safe. A tragic incident occurred last night. At the time of the fire, 63 female students were reported in the dormitory. Reports are that 20 students died in the fire. So according to one of the female students who managed to escape, she was awakened by screams. Upon checking, she saw fire. So I'm getting updates as we speak. So I'm still receiving videos. So this here is the scene as the body was being taken to the mortuary.
Bye.
Who is responsible? How did this happen? Well, let's go back to photos of the fire itself. And let's have a discussion as to what we're looking at here. So this is the school dorm. The school dorm is administrated by what is called the dorm mother. At the time of this fire, this building would have been locked up. And secured. As you see, the building has grills here, right? So when the fire began, the students found difficulty in getting out. Being female students would have been one of the reasons young females would have not had the strength and understanding as how to use tools or training to use tools to get themselves out. I have received reports that the house mother, when the fire started, was calling the Guyana Fire Service, and when people shout out her, open the place, she did not open the place. What would have caused that? Police investigators need to hear what would have caused that. Now, what would have caused the fire? I have received reports that suggested that a young lady who had her phone taken away would have used a bottle of perfume and a lighter to start that fire. It is obvious the law will see how it will have to deal with her if that is found to be true. Where the real problem lies is, who do you put in charge of adolescents? Imagine having 64 young girls. This is a dormitory. It's a housing home facility for students. It is not a prison. Recently, a convicted death row criminal was able to escape from a maximum security prison. And this morning, students were unable to escape fire from a one-flat housing facility. 19 of them died. The person who is responsible as the administrator of this building, the person who choose to lock those doors from outside and not themselves be within that building should be charged the least for manslaughter. One has to understand context here and how this works. I am saying only days ago, a death row murderer, now prisoner, sentenced to death for the crimes he committed, escaped from a maximum security prison, was afforded that opportunity, was afforded the opportunity to escape from a maximum security prison. While in the wee hours of this morning, 19 students died in what should have been a housing facility for them. Now, to give context, why would this building have been grilled up like this? This is an outlying community. This is supposed to be an all-girl facility. The girls who were in that facility would have been from the ages 13 to 16, many going into puberty. And in these communities, if not secured, men would go after them and prey on them. So that most likely is the reason that the housing facility, the facility that housed them for them to sleep in the night, would have been a secure one. Just to have people not attack them. That has turning to a prison, and now in the wee hours of this morning, an inferno that has cost many of the students their lives. Heads got to roll. Where was the person? How far was the house mother from this building? Where were the keys? Is only one person have keys? Multiple person have keys? If this was a situation where girls from time to time would be coming out of there and interacting with men and they had to be locked up, how we were never made of that? Was there some kind of cover-up all the time that now led to something that is uncovered and cannot be covered any longer? These are the questions that have to be asked. What would have caused a facility that is supposed to be a housing facility to be set up more like a prison with no checks and balances in place as it relates to safety? We cannot suggest that there were checks and balances as it relates to safety, since anywhere that has checks and balances as it relates to safety, do not see the deaths of 19 students. The students were on the ground in a building and were supposed to be secure. And they lay sleeping like if they were on a plane. Because it's only a plane in the event that some unfortunate accident happens that there's so much uncertainty, a highly unlikelihood of everybody surviving. I know this is a woman. I know she would have dedicated her life to doing this job. I don't know if she's the captain of a ship. 19 people have died. How will that be dealt with? The government, for the first time, has to ensure there are 19 families crying for justice. And if not found to be a crime, it is a gross misconduct. How you could lock up? What is wrong with the Guyanese society? What is wrong with the Guyanese psyche? I have work sites that have machinery that I check on. I live above TBN studios here, and constantly I monitor my surroundings and have others monitor my surroundings too. What is this? I constantly put it up on the big screen. I constantly monitor my surroundings. Right? Not only there's nothing going on here, but you have 64 young girls in a facility. You don't know what is going on, when it is going on. There's no fire protection. I have fire protection. I have what the red thing we got about the place there? The thing was blue, but fire extinguishers. We got fire extinguishers on work sites and with excavators. Is a metal thing. It's steel. It's not human. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. I'm very sad about that situation. And I just want to give my condolences to the family as well. We as a Guyanese people, we need to come together and deal with situation more mature, because as I was looking at your live and I listened to your statement, we cannot lock up adolescents like prisoners. We have to find a better solution, a better way going forward, so that this cannot repeat itself. It is very sad. It is hurting me to see everything that's happening in the country. It's sad. I just want those families to be. I don't know how they're gonna condole the family. I don't know how they're gonna comfort them. That is just my input this morning, sir.
Brother. I do not and cannot begin to comprehend what the families are going through. the intent on giving your child an education, the drive behind you wanting to work your tail off and thrive for better is all centered around the betterment of your children. Because then there is the measure of your success.
Critic.
Hello, good morning.
Right. You can hear me.
What are you doing?
Yes, giving your child an education.
Brother, what's it?
Yeah, hey, Mr. Critic.
You're trying to listen to yourself?
Your tail up and try for better.
I'm just block you for being a stupid person. Your life itself, life's purposes, when it comes to genuine families, is centered around the kids. And I would want to give the benefit of the doubt to every one of those mothers and fathers for those children who lost their lives. I would want to think they are the best parents that they can be. I would want to think that they love their kids like I love mine. I would want to think that they share the same pride that I share when I see my kids grow up and they strive to become something. I would want to give them the benefit of the doubt and believe we are all equal when it comes to loving, caring, and wanting the best for our children. Those are the things I would want to think. I would not in any way, shape, or form want to understand what it is like to lose a child under such dire circumstances. Hello, good morning.
Yes, a pleasant good morning, Mr. Critic. Yes, I just want to share my condolences to the family and, the persons that were, burnt. I just want to, I just wanted to know something. This is pertaining to Mr. Ben Love. I just scrolled on Facebook, his live. Instead of sharing the concerns, of what happened last night, we also have a notorious man on the loose right now. All he's talking about is Isle and Jack Deal.
No, but brother, do you think this is the context? No. Help me out. Do you think this is the context to have that discussion?
No.
All right, buddy. Take care. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
One of the problems with us as a people going ocean logistics, bill of lading. Hello, good morning.
Hi, Rodriguez. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sorry for hearing what's going on in Guyana, but a lot of callers gonna call in and telling you about or they're gonna make the opinion point into like this in accord again. But I see government buildings putting up with no sprinkler inside, no fire protection inside, nothing like this happening. Everything just building as a regular structure. And I hope that the government of Guyana start to look into this matter and bring some solution to this. And my next thing too, it's something really bothered me in my mind. PPP government is the right government for the country, but they're too soft for the laws. Thank you very much.
All right, brother. Hello?
Hey, good morning.
Yes, brother.
And my sympathy and everything to those family that the kids suffered that fire. But what I want to say, what I learned from what happened,
So
that I was trying to tell my wife. Those, it's a flat building. Oh, hello?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, it's a flat building, my brother. All them kids didn't need to lose their life. Those bars, man. We just building these places with too much of bars, man. Those security bars that they say that they're building, man. That's called.
There's your input, brother?
Yes.
All right.
We have.
A lot of people calling this morning and they want to hear their own voice. This is the problem with our society. The inability to take things seriously. If you want to participate, that is why people don't get me. People don't get me. Because I don't care how you feel about me. I don't feel any way how you feel about me. All I care about is the purpose, the ideals that I nurture, the ideology, the principle, transparency, accountability. Hence my raw and unstructured nature. You have people continue to go, this is the problem with our society. Look like a funny thing with a call, but it's not. An individual calls to have an input. But even to that, they can't portray in a serious manner because he seems to be listening to his own voice to hear how he input. The reason I could do what I do is when I do and say, I don't care how you feel about it. I am looking at the comments to hear what more you want, what better understanding I could offer you. But I don't care how you feel about my hair or my beard if I look old. And that is a problem with our society. A people who lack the focus, the direction. A people who lack purposefulness. I'm hoping through the stewardship of the president. Look at this photograph and let me tell you what you're looking at. This is the president on the ground at the Eugene Correa International Airport. And at this time, that green ambulance that you're seeing there would have been the first ambulance coming. Not to say they were late. 2 planes had just taken off, 2 medevacs had just taken off, but to say that the president was there even before the lights came on. I'm hoping something could be learned from this. When I went to that hangar, the hangar was in darkness. There was no preparedness for this. Nobody expected this to happen. But yes, the president was in there. And Shaliza Lisa Ali has come up with I think, what is much needed. I wish to call for 1 minute of silence, and I wish to also have you, since it is in the best interest of the nation, I wish to ask you all to share the live in that minute. 1 minute of silence. Just put up the photo. So, I'm hoping to get information that will solidify the cause of this gruesome incident. I will be giving you further updates before the day is out as I receive them. At this time, just to recapture, fire at the dorm at the Mahdia School Dorms has left 19 students dead. Reports received by TBN suggest that a student who developed a grudge after having her phone taken away might have caused the fire. It is evident as a result of 19 persons dying it is evident that there wasn't much oversight of the supposedly 64 students housed in a building that had security bars around it that did not allow for the easy escape of students. All of this has to be looked at. I suggest we wait a police investigation. I'm hoping that I'll be afforded the opportunity to go on the ground today and bring further updates for you. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Morning Live with the Guyanese Critic on behalf of TBN. On behalf of TBN and myself, we'd like to express condolences to the family members. We cannot begin to understand your loss at this time. We could only try as hard as we can to support you. Thank you.